Only a few centuries ago, Seoul remained the center of the Hermit Kingdom, isolated and unknown from the rest of the world. The ancient capital was surrounded by a defensive wall protecting Seoul from outsiders. The only way to the city was through 8 gates protected by the Joseon Dynasty guards. This was a few centuries ago. Since then, the city has spilled out far beyond and above its 12-mile wall and great city gates. Known as the miracle of Han River, Seoul got stronger than ever after being devastated by the Korean War. The rapid reconstruction and economic growth led Seoul to become one of the most powerful and influential cities in the world. Dynamic and energetic, Seoul is the driving force of South Korea. It is a city that harmonizes the past and the present to create a better future. To make it ultra simple, Seoul is crossed by Han River, which divides the city into 2 halves, Gangbuk and Gangnam, which literally means north of the river and south of the river. Gangbuk is the more historical half of Seoul, and Gangnam is the more modernized one. Hongdae. Hongdae is one of the most popular places in Seoul. The origin of its popularity is Hongik University. In the early 90s, when the rent was still very affordable, young graduate artists decided to set up their ateliers in the area. More and more artists joined them, which made this place very popular among young people. Today, 30 years later, if you want to experience vibrant Seoul life, Hongdae is the right place for you. Between street performers, shopping, karaoke, street food, games, and popular Korean-themed cafes, there are so many things to do. Myeongdong. If I must describe Myeongdong in a few words, I would say street food and shopping paradise. Myeongdong is fully packed all day long with tourists from around the world. They come here for shopping and tasting the most incredible street food like the grilled cheese lobster, Korean stir-fried noodles, or the giant mussels. Itaewon. Itaewon is the international district of Seoul where you will probably see as many foreigners as Koreans. It is a paradise for people who like drinking, partying, and good food from around the world. Gyeongbuk-gung. If you are seeking a connection with the city's past, you can travel a few centuries back to discover the traditional places of Seoul. The most popular is Gyeongbuk-gung Palace, the Palace of Shining Happiness. Completed in 1395, this palace was the main residence to the Joseon Dynasty rulers during the next 5 centuries. Bukchong Hanok Village. Right next to Gyeongbuk-gung Palace, you will find a historical village built 6 centuries ago. Hanok is the traditional wooden style of houses in South Korea. The government replaced most of the Hanok houses in Seoul with newer buildings. But this village stayed untouched thanks to the locals who protested the village renovations. Today, locals still live in the Hanok village, while their houses are one of the main tourist attractions. Insadong. A different way to experience traditional culture of South Korea is walking down the streets of Insadong. Once the home of the artists who created paintings and woodworks for royal families, Insadong today is an artistic neighborhood where you can enjoy art galleries, traditional tea houses, cafes, restaurants, and plenty of small shops selling arts and crafts. Gwangjang Market. Gwangjang Market is probably the oldest and most popular traditional market in South Korea. Here, you will have an authentic Korean cultural experience testing some of the best Korean street food. Don't get overwhelmed by this giant gastronomic beauty's crazy atmosphere and its hordes of people eating in every direction. Just sit down at the nearest stall and enjoy. Han River. Rich in history, Han River is an iconic symbol of the capital. It is also the perfect place to spend time with your friends. People go to Han River for many reasons like taking a walk, renting a bicycle, camping, but our favorite thing to do at Han River is getting some fried chicken delivered right to your picnic spot and enjoy it with your friends.